want to show you how I make my version of the chicken, bacon and mushroom casserole using McCormick's as a base. I will be using it today in our thermos Shuttle Chef. Our first step is to brown some chicken thighs. I find that we only use 700 grams versus the 1 kilo that the bag recommends, as that is enough for our family of 4. Whilst my chicken is browning, I will put my rice on. If you're unfamiliar with how the Shuttle Chef works, basically it's a giant furnace. These 2 pots, once the food is cooked and brought to the boil, will actually go into the thermos container, and the heat that is retained will continue to slowly cook the food for hours without any constant attention. Just like a conventional slow cooker, it is nice at the end of a busy day to come home to a ready cooked meal. The benefit with the Shuttle Chef is that it does not use power, which is great when you're free camping. With your rice, it's just a matter of bringing it to the boil and then popping its lid on and turning it down to simmer for a few minutes before popping it into the Shuttle Chef. Once your chicken is browned to your liking, it is now time to add into the bacon. I use bacon pieces because that's what I had on hand in the freezer. Once this is stirred through, I'll also add in 2 chopped onions. After a few minutes of letting the onion and the bacon start to cook through, I then prepare my McCormick's base. I add the packet mix to 1/4 cup of water and mix thoroughly. Adding in my final ingredient, which isn't on the list, are 2 chopped carrots. Again, it's what I had on hand in my fridge. Now that my rice has come to the boil, I've turned it down to a simmer and popped its lid back on. Now when pouring in the McCormick's mix, it doesn't always look like a lot, but you'd be very surprised, as you probably find with slow cookers, that after sitting and simmering for a while in the thermos, it will actually bring out a lot of the liquid from the chicken. Now, our final ingredient to this mix will be mushroomed. I used tinned mushroom because it's easy and convenient. Now, after combining all the ingredients well, it's time to pop the lid on and bring it to the boil. Continue to let your pot boil for 10 to 15 minutes with its lid on to bring it up to temp. Once you've achieved this stage, it's now time to pop them into the Shuttle Chef. Depending what I'm cooking, I tend to put the fuller pot on the base and then the other pot, which is not quite as full, on the top. I really don't think it matters either way, that's just my personal preference. By twisting the handle over, it actually locks the lid on, and during the day this lives in its cover underneath our bed. We've just come back from a very busy day out, and it's time for tea. This meal was started just after 7 o'clock this morning, and it is now 25 past 6. I tend to wipe out the Shuttle Chef thermos liner as I pulled out the pots just to give them a couple of minutes to cool, because they are still very warm and there is a lot of condensation inside the container. As you can see here, we have 1 pot of rice and our casserole mix. Now, according to the recipe at this stage, you can add cream to it. I tend not to, but that's just a family preference. As I mentioned earlier, you can see that there is a lot more liquid in this from the chicken through the cooking process. This particular meal is a family favourite of ours, and we hope you try it and enjoy it as well. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video, and if you like, please like and subscribe to our channel, and that way you'll keep up to date with our adventures and any other cooking episodes using our Thermos Shuttle Chef.